All right, everybody. Very good evening. I hope everybody is doing well and staying safe. So it's 7 p.m. now, and this is the time to start our webinar. I hope everybody can see me and hear me well. I'm super excited for this particular webinar of how to become a software engineer, but not coding with no any coding background. That's going to be interesting for sure, and I know it's very catching stuff. That's why you guys are here and registered. So, very good evening, Vishal. Let's get started, guys. I can see the peoples are coming in. I would request you all to invite your friends and let me make this particular session the most valuable session for you all. All right. So before I start, guys, I just wanted to understand one thing. If you guys can see me or hear me well, just give me a thumbs up in the chat section so that I can just start moving. All right. Hi, Imtiaz Sheikh. Very good evening. Ajinkya Yadav. Very good evening. Asha. Hello. Dibakar Haldar. Good evening. Tarikonda Raja Rangarao. Good evening. Nice name. So I can see now the people are ready and excited and they can see me and hear me well. All right. So this session is going to be at least 50 or 55 minutes. That's it. And for sure, like as always, I bring the guest speaker who are highly experienced and worked into a bunch of cool companies as a software engineer, and they're going to tell you exactly that yes, you can also become a software engineer even if you don't have a coding background. That's going to be interesting for sure, because without coding and thinking about software engineering is something which is a really very catchy thing. Nobody have ever thought about it. So let's see how we can do that and how is it genuinely possible. So what and how I'm going to organize this particular webinar. So in this particular webinar, I'll be interacting with the guest speaker, asking the most silliest and the toughest questions and everything, any sort of a thing, so that you all people can get a chance to you know interact and understand that how is this possible, how legit and real it is. And the most important thing is, I will be taking your questions, guys, and I'll be asking you as a guest speaker so that you can get your query resolved one on one. So yes, for sure, we're gonna make it successful. So before we start, I just want to say, guys, can you just see me? All right. So I'm just moving on. I hope the people are joining in. So yes, before I start, guys, I just wanted to understand one thing, that from which city you guys are in and how old are you, so that I can understand the demographics of you all. Okay, you just tell me in the comment section from which city you guys are in and what's your age, so that I can understand very properly that what sort of audience are attending this webinar, so that accordingly I will be molding it. All right. So Jinke 25. Okay, got it. Got it. So I can see the people like 32 years, 38 years, 25 years. That's great. 27 years. All right. 24 years, Kochi. Rajesh from Chennai, 28. And I'm from Siliguri, West Bengal. My age is 27. All right. That's great. So I can understand all over the India, we have the people are attending with the different age demographics. Somebody must be a fresher. Somebody must be, experienced, and somebody's trying to look forward. Javed Imam is 46-year-old. That's really interesting, man. I would love to give you the spatial, idea that how still at this age how you can switch it. So for sure, keep your questions ready, because I understand that you must be having a lot of questions in the mind at this particular age. So let's do it. All right. So this is me, guys. I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Amir Akhtar, and I'm a career consultant. I have helped more than 237 plus people to find a job in IT as a software engineer. All right. So I have total 5 years of experience, and I've interacted with the multiple different peoples to, understand that what exactly the challenges they are facing, whether they are 24 years of age, whether they are 46 years of age, whether they are of 30 years of age. So every age group have different challenges, right? Somebody has a job security issue. Somebody has like whether I'll be getting 15 lakh or 10 lakh or not. how much secure it is, or like, yeah. So so a lot of confusions are there. For sure, people above 26 years, they are quite very flexible and fine with switching. But generally, I've observed people after 28 years of age, they are becoming like little settled. They're having some, commitments and a lot of responsibility. So yes, a lot of things comes in the mind. Trust me, guys, I have interacted and dealt with all sort of problems, and I'm going to give you all the solutions. And I'm sure you're going to relate it very properly, because I have gone through certain stages and interacted with certain people where I have solved their circumstances, and they are not only playing safe but also making big. So here's the link in the chat section. There's my LinkedIn ID. If you guys want to connect with me separately, you can definitely DM me. I would love to help you all. All right, guys. Moving ahead, let me tell you about this particular webinar exactly. But yes, to tell you about the webinar, I need to understand that what sort of intention you have in this particular webinar. So you attended this webinar. You attended this particular webinar. Somebody's saying that you said it's a free webinar, but is asking for registration. The registration is to attend this particular webinar, so that you can get an email invites. Okay. Okay, Amit, I will be speaking loud. Okay, so guys, I wanted to understand one thing from you, that there are three options. I just trying to understand that what exactly the reason you joined this particular webinar. So are you just here to listen this particular webinar, or you are looking for some courses and wanted to study, or you are already studying this sort of a particular topic or in the subjects you are already in, but you are trying to get more, expertism in that. So the poll is on the screen. Just tell me, guys, that what exactly the reason, you know what exactly the reason you are attending this particular webinar, so that I can have a better clarity. All right. So I can see the people have started. So I can see the majority of the people are into this. I wanted to study and looking for the courses sort of stuff. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. So guys, let me tell you, this webinar is free. You don't need to pay anything. Okay. This webinar is free. Relax. Relax. All I would just request you girls to stay till the end and ask too many questions as much you want to the guest speaker. All right, because we're gonna make it for sure most valuable session for you. All right. So as I can see in the poll result, that the maximum are trying to study and looking for the courses, and few of them are already studying and looking for to expand their horizon, and only little bit people are just here for this particular understanding. No worries, we'll make this session valuable for everyone. All right, let's get started. So, yes, guys. So, we are doing this particular webinar to support our course for a software engineer from a coding invaders. So, what exactly this coding invaders is? So, our mission is to transform all the non-IT profession to get into IT profession. All right. And we help all the people who are from non-IT and get into a high-paying IT profession such as software engineer. All right. We will understand everything. All right. So if I'll talk about the company's background, then we have already trained 100 plus companies employees on a regular basis, and the student who passed out from our programs have already got 30 to 400% of salary hike. And for more detail, you can go to the website as well. And we have more than 90% of employment rate as well, and already 40,000 students, have already studied. All right. And if I'll talk about the learners who are studying with us are from the 40 plus countries learner base. So this going to be an interesting session for you all, and there will be more on this at the end of this particular webinar. All right, so stay tuned. So in this particular software engineer course, what we do, let me tell you. So we promises 100% job guarantee agreement we provide before you enroll. Okay. And okay, Jitu, somebody is saying that can you please speak in Hindi? Otherwise, please speak slowly. Okay, I'll speak normal way. All right. And guys, you can comment that what language you are more comfortable in. And so what I was talking about this particular course, which is 9 months, which offers Python, AWS, and a lot more. And this no prior knowledge and experience is necessary. And there's a 7 days per week that help you to, the mentors are available to help you out. All right, that's perfect. So this is the course about that we offer in our coding invaders, and on that basis we are just doing this particular webinar so that you can have a better clarity and understanding and achieve your goals if you're thinking to switch. All right, so what you will get today in this particular webinar, so all the people who are here in this particular webinar, I am going to start a contest right now, which will end up in just 50 minutes. So, all the people who are staying in this particular webinar will win our premium course, which is 9-month software engineering course, which promises job guarantee with an agreement. One of you will get a chance to win it for free, and I'll be announcing the winner in front of you by showcasing the list. All right. So I would request you all. It will not take anything. It just needs a seriousness to attend till the end. Try to understand every single words from the me and the guest or speaker, and I'll be choosing the winner in front of you. And all the people who will not win for sure, they will be also getting a certificate of participation and also a special offer. If they want, they can join our job guarantee batch. All right. So the time starts now. So here is the link you can see. The link will be into the chat section where you can go and participate in this particular contest. All right. So I am just pasting the link so that you can start, you can start participating in this contest. All right. So as I said, this particular contest is going to start right now and then will be staying only for 50 minutes. All right. So are you guys done already? That's great. That's great. So I can see the registrations have already started coming in. Hold on. Let me check. So I'll give you 1 or 2 minutes, guys. Go and register and tell me if you are done. Perfect. So I can see people are already doing it. That's nice. Perfect. Perfect. Got it. Got it. So everybody is done. All set. All ready. Let's move on. All right. So what exactly you're going to learn and what exactly we're going to talk in this particular webinar? So we will try to understand first of all what are software engineers, what is full stack developers, what sort of a job they do, what sort of profession is this. Then we will try to understand that how we can become one. All right. And we will understand what tools and the skills that you need to master to become a successful developer as well. Okay. And then you will try and you will understand that how to start a developer career. So these are the three major things that we're going to learn from scratch and try to understand every single process. All right. Let's move on. So we have our amazing guest who is Navneet Singh, a software engineer at Bright Money. He is here with us. You can say hi to him.
Hey
Uh,
guys,
Hi, Navneet.
Amir, are you able to hear me and see me?
I can hear you, but I cannot see you. Can you just
I actually did.
refresh again?
Yeah, one second. Give me a minute. Am I visible now?
Not yet. Guys, can you see him? If yes, then just give me a thumbs up so that we can just start interacting with Navneet. And let's see that yes. Can you guys just give me a thumbs up, like if you can see and hear Navneet's well? We are trying once. Okay. So
Cool.
people are saying yes. Okay, Navneet. I cannot see you, but people can see you. So let's start. Doesn't matter. People like it's important for them. Fine then. So
Cool.
passing the mic to you, Navneet. Can you please tell me about yourself?
Yeah, just I'll try to give a very brief introduction about me. So I did my bachelor's in computer science from lovely professional university, and then later on I started my internship. I mean, my actual course duration was till 2019, but I started interning in 2018 itself. So
Mhm.
the last entire year of my bachelor's, I spent in the companies for doing internship and etc. And then later on, I worked at Amazon, and then later I joined a few of the startups. One was in the edtech domain, and another one was into the fintech domain. So currently, I'm working in the fintech domain, which is for the US based users basically. So
Mhm.
it is not available in India, but yeah, I mean the whole idea behind the whole product is behind the credit cards. So that's one of the fintech domain that I'm working in. So that's a very brief introduction about me.
That's nice. That's nice. Even I can see that you have switched a lot, so you must have a lot of experience in switching and understanding a lot more things. So this session is gonna be for sure very much helpful. But before that, I just have a very small questions just to understand that. Could you just tell us that why you choose in this particular profession, specifically the software engineer?
All right. So this is something a very tricky question to answer in general.
Mm-hmm.
So one is obviously, I mean, when you we are, let's say, in general, during the 11th, 12th standard, we try to figure out what is, what works for us. Either it is commerce or is the science stream, right? But yeah, I mean, in my science stream, I had something which was into the computer science, which was one of the important reasons why I got interested into programming. So that's where I got to know about programming, and I started figuring out, okay, this is how we need to do programming, and this is how programming works. And that was the primary reason where I got interested into that. And then later on, when I decided to pursue the career and my education, higher education in computer science itself, so I
Mm-hmm.
joined the similar course. And then once I got into the course, right, I mean, there is obviously one of the important role that the environment plays around for you. So
Exactly.
basically, if you have people who are something, some kind of competitive people, right, so
Mm-hmm.
that actually helps you grow, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is one of the important thing that
Mm-hmm.
played an important role for me, because when you have a competition around you, you start working hard. And
Exactly.
then later on, I obviously realized that, okay, one of the uh, important thing is that IT is high paying job. So
Exactly.
everyone, I mean, not only me, I mean, everyone will agree on that. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you have right set of skill set,
Mm-hmm.
you can get good handsome amount of packages as well.
Agreed, agreed. So, Navneet, I have observed one thing that, because I follow you on LinkedIn, I see a lot of activities you generally put up. So, is this something I just wanted to understand that do you get a time flexibility when it comes to an IT profession? And do you get a time for yourself? But see, it's a high paying, you said. So, is it something that your life is messed up, or is it something that is life is balanced and you are able to focus on other things which you like?
So, to be honest, it's not something, I can say it in general, which is basically most of the things vary company to company. But nowadays, most of the companies are trying to make sure that the work-life balance for
Mm-hmm.
the employees is
Mm-hmm.
good. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so they make sure that, okay, you are not given those kind of burden in
Mm-hmm.
terms of the work when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to your personal life. So you are given that personal life, but in general, sometimes I would say,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest, where you are supposed to, let's say, release some
Mhm,
kind of important features, so you need to work hard and maybe put in
mhm,
extra efforts. But that is how it works, right? I mean, sometimes you might, your job or your role might require to
mhm.
put extra efforts. But in
Understood.
general, I think the life is, in general, it is pretty sorted,
Mhm,
which is basically you are given some,
mhm,
personal space. No one is getting into that. I mean, no one is gonna call you after work. I mean, that's how people, in general, your colleagues also make sure that they are not disturbing you in your personal
mhm,
time. So
mhm.
that's how, I mean, I would say in general that happens.
Understood. Understood. Thank you for this honest answer. Now, I just wanted to understand one thing from you, Navneet, that in which year you just came into this IT industry?
2018,
2018. Okay. So it's been almost more than 4 years. And
almost, you can say, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So at that time, so what do you want to comment on the growth of IT sector? Because I'm observing from last few decades, it's like it was constant, but all of a sudden after 2015 seems to be growing. Do you know any specific reason why it is growing
So
and why it's gonna be the future?
yeah, so just to answer, I mean, if you relate this graph, this is more of, I would suggest or say, in
Mm-hmm.
Indian market. Okay,
Okay.
this is more relevant to the India market. And if you talk about the US market, California and etc., right? I mean, this was something which was maybe in early
Mm-hmm.
2000 or something. So this kind of graph was over there. I mean, from
Mm-hmm.
20 to 2007, 8, and so on, right? I mean, after that recession happened in between, so all those things happened in that. But yeah, coming back to this market trend, the reason behind this is because in India earlier there was not so much of digitalization. But now you see that happening, right? I mean, people, I mean, you can take an example of Geo, right? What Geo did is like revolutionary in terms of providing that kind of internet space to everybody. I mean, now these days, I mean, parents of our, right, our parents
Mm-hmm.
are able to use internet, and they are like able to explore a lot of things. I mean, when we did our own bachelors, right, so what
Mm-hmm.
happened, I mean, before, when we were kids, right? I mean, in school, right? We were not having those kind of leverages in terms of the internet, right?
Mm-hmm.
The way these days kids are having, right? So
Mm-hmm.
this is one of the primary reasons, because the moment people are able to have the entire, you can say the resources,
Mm-hmm.
that's where the opportunity is open for the IT sector. Why? Because everything you in IT is about online, right? Most of the things.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And if it is online, so you need the users. And how are the users coming in picture? Users will be people like us who are able to use it, right? Right.
Exactly.
So if you talk about any of the recent startups, talking about
Mm-hmm.
Blinkit, talking about Zepto and all, so all these are startups who are into these domain only, right? I mean, they are like bringing in, let's say, 15 minutes delivery. What does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
If let's say you don't have users, how will you be able to do that startup, right?
True.
You need to have those kind of users. So, and how are the users coming in picture? Because now everyone, every single kid is having a smartphone,
True.
right? So that brings us the whole opportunity of, for in terms of the entrepreneurs, that brings
Mm-hmm.
opportunity for them to do
Mm-hmm.
and build something. And the moment they start up any company, they
Mm-hmm.
will indirectly or directly, you can say, that employability is created, right?
Exactly.
The reason in the recent trend, if you see, I think I don't see that timeline in the bottom, because
Mm-hmm.
I think because of the camera images which we have,
Mm-hmm.
it is not visible to me. But I think somewhere around 2019, 18, 19, the trend
Mm-hmm.
started growing exponentially. So
Understood.
that is the major reason, you can say, because
Mm-hmm.
of that whole digitalization that happened.
Understood. Understood.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank that was great. Uh, your that was a great perspective that why it is going. So I can understand. I can rely on this particular profession, right? If I will try to switch, and it's not something which is a bubble. It's going to decrease. It's going to be increasing for sure, right?
Exactly.
All right, perfect. So, any approximate idea if I just ask that how much a software engineer generally makes as a freshers and after years? Would you like to comment something on it?
So I mean, see, it varies from companies to company and skill sets to skill sets.
Mm-hmm.
But in general, what I would say is, see, I mean, you have given a decent amount of range. You have
Mm-hmm.
been modest in terms of, let's say, the higher range I'm talking about, the 14 lakhs. Of 3
Okay.
lakhs is still not there, but I think 3.5 or something is now the starting range of, let's say, MNCs, companies like TCS, and few of
Mm-hmm.
the other MNCs.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, but in general, I think the high upper limit is not 14 lakhs, obviously. Upper limit can go somewhere around 30 lakhs as well for the freshers. In general, I'm talking about for freshers. So, I mean, that is something, that's why I just gave that disclaimer. It varies from companies to company, and also it varies from skill set to skill set. I mean, person to person, each individual will have their own skill set. So, they might land into 8 LPA package, they might
Mm-hmm.
land into 14 LPA, and so on. So, it's like, I think if let's say you have, this is something that I'm talking about the freshers, and the
Exactly.
moment you start gaining experience, the salary ranges these days are like high, because companies these days need the good developers. If you
Understood.
are good and if you have the right set of skill set,
Mm-hmm.
companies are looking for you. They are ready to pay you. The only thing is that you need to have the right set of skill set. That's it.
Understood. Understood. So, what I can understand from your background, as I just wanted to ask that, as I can see your experience, you started your first entry that is directly into the man companies like Amazon, right? But you mentioned that you are from a lovely professional university, which is a tier three college, right? So, was that challenging to switch because there's too much rumor that only IITians will go into Amazon, or being from tier three, how hard or how easy it was to get into Amazon?
See, there are obviously a couple of things.
Mm-hmm.
For example, if I talk about the college, see, it might matter in few of the companies,
Mm-hmm.
but in general, it doesn't matter to anyone. In general, whatever companies I have worked in and whatever people I have interacted,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, I mean, what I have observed is it doesn't matter from which college you are, right?
Okay.
Because I work in right, and I mean, I have a lot of people working from different IIT colleges, the same
Mm-hmm.
company. So it hardly matters from where you are in general,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
obviously, some where or the other, uh,
Mm-hmm.
people give kind of preference in few of
Mm-hmm.
the companies, not every
Yeah, the
company.
companies, yeah.
Majority of the companies don't even care about from which college you are. The only thing that matters is the skill set, and
Skill
that's what
set.
I believe in.
Yeah.
And that's what I believe in, and that's why, as answering to the question which you just mentioned, right? I mean, did you face any problems? So I didn't any, I mean, as per what I can remember, I didn't even face these kind of issues anywhere. No one even asked about it, which college you are from.
Mm.
They didn't even, they were not even considerate about what college you are passed out from. They were only looking into the experience, and that's what I have also done. When I take interviews for different candidates, I don't even see about which college they are from. I only see what experience, what internships they did, what are the skill sets, what are the projects they worked on. These are the
Understood.
primary things that I look into the any of the resume that I get,
Understood.
that I interview for, right? So that's how it is. I mean, in general, no one
Understood.
really cares about which college you are, until and unless few of the companies who say that you should be a pass out from IIT or not, a tier one colleges. So I mean, I completely ignore that. You should also do the same. If you're applying for
Yeah.
the company, they mention this line disclaimer.
Mhm. Mhm.
Just block that company from your life. Don't even go into that company anywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
because that kind of mentality is something that people these days don't have. But if
Mhm.
someone's having, that's like complete stupidity. I don't think so. That's
Yeah.
like the right way to do it.
So, Navneet, I have just one interesting question to ask you because, fortunately or unfortunately, I'm also a mechanical engineer. I don't know. Yeah. So, like from the day one of engineering, you were so much focused, or like, can you just give us an honest answer that which semester, which year you became serious towards cracking this Amazon?
See, I'll just try to be honest with you. In my first year, I got to know that okay, Amazon comes into the college for hiring. That
Okay.
was the first thing.
Mhm.
So I made up my mind that okay, I want to get into Amazon because it is high paying. Nothing else I
Mhm.
knew that time. This was the first semester, first year.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay. I
Mhm.
didn't knew anything about it. I just knew that okay, this is the highest
Right
package
thing.
that comes into the college. That
Mhm.
was the only reason I thought of going into Amazon.
Mhm.
And then as the time passed, I started working, but in
Mhm.
between I dropped it. I mean, that idea of getting into Amazon also dropped from my mind automatically because I thought maybe I'll not be able to crack it. And then realizing how the whole reality around me, I
Mhm.
thought maybe I'll not be able to do it. But somewhere or the other, at the back of my mind, I wanted to go over there. That
Yeah.
was the only thing. I mean, just to be honest. Okay. I didn't knew that okay, how to, get into that directly. I only knew that okay, if I keep working hard, maybe I'll be able to do it. So I was
Exactly.
already placed when I got the interview for Amazon. When I came for that placement, I was already working in another company. So I completely lost that track. I was
Mhm.
like, I'm not gonna go into Amazon now. I because I'm not in touch with the studies now because I'm working and I'm not that prepared. The
Understood.
only thing that helped me was that I came back and for the college in the college for the placement basically for Amazon. Only
Mhm.
for Amazon I came back to college. Otherwise, I didn't. I got placed in 2018
Mhm.
before my fourth year started, and I went
Mhm.
for the internship. And I only came for one company, which was Amazon. And
Understood.
over there, I was like more of mentally, I was thinking that I'll not be able to do it. And I think my friends who were like close to me, they knew that okay, I said these lines to them as well. The only thing is now, I mean, when I went into I gave the test, assessment, and all that stuff, I was able to clear it, and then automatically the interview and all that, things started falling in the same direction because
Mhm.
it's not about how many months you prepared before the interview. It's all about how much efforts you put in for those particular things
Mhm.
from, let's say, the 6 months, 1 year, all those count actually. That's where I
Mhm.
realized okay, it was not about 1 month of preparation before the interview. It was about how much hard work you have put in from last 2 years or 3 years, right? So that's how it works. And that's where I got into Amazon.
That's really nice. So, if I'll give you one situation, the kind of efforts that put to crack these things, okay, what if you could be a BCom or a finance background or any BSc graduate, if you, let's suppose you didn't did engineering, what is it still possible to crack a company like Amazon if you're doing a graduation from any random, like not engineering, just leave engineering, anything as a graduation,
Right.
like even a BA, if you will just learn certain skill set, would you be able to crack it at that time?
See, I've seen people doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I was from computer science, so I'm not saying that I did it like that, but I have seen people doing it. And also, if I talk about the way and the
Uh-huh.
approach towards it, it might be a bit difficult in terms
Mhm.
of, because you might be. I mean, see, let's say I was working. I mean, I was studying in computer science. I knew things. I was studying those things, right, in general. But if let's say you are coming out from a, let's say, BA or BCom, that's like a more of a non-technical background completely, right? So in that case, you are expected to be more focused.
Mhm.
You're expected to be more hardworking
Mhm.
and ambitious. Obviously, if you are hardworking and if you have a goal in your mind, then you will be
Mhm.
able to do it. That's like all mental game, right? Mind game. You just need to be prepared for putting efforts. And if you have
Mhm.
the right set of guidance and if you have the right set of approach in front of you, you can
Mhm.
have, obviously go ahead and try to do whatever you want. I mean, it's not just about getting into Amazon. There are other companies who are high paying, maybe
Yeah.
than Amazon as well. So you can get into those companies as well. So
All
it's not
right.
something that you can't do it. It is just about hard work and the right set of guidance. Two things that matters a lot.
Now the important question is: have you hired somebody who is from a non-tech background?
Yes.
Great.
Not not only not only me. I was like I hired a person who was not even having a degree.
Oh,
Okay, so that person just did 12th and then he was working as a freelancer.
okay.
He didn't had any degree, and he did pretty well in the interviews as well. I mean, he was able to answer questions that we were asking. But apart from
Mm-hmm.
that, I mean, that's still like he was working as a freelancer. But talking
Mm-hmm.
about one of the examples that I recently read about, somewhere in one of the articles, which was I think Uber,
Mm-hmm.
related to Uber, because the person who was working as a Uber driver was
Mm-hmm.
able to crack the role for SDE, software development engineer, at Uber itself, which is like Uber is like having a standards, right? Similar to
Mm-hmm.
Amazon, the way you are putting Amazon at a level, right?
Yeah,
Same way Uber has its own level as well.
exactly.
So
Agree.
it's like not an easy task to crack Uber as well. So that person
Mhm.
was able to do it. So I would say, I mean, if he can do it, I mean, why not you? Right?
Yeah,
So
for
it's like
sure.
just about the perspective and
Yeah,
about the right set of guidance and hard work you put in, the efforts basically.
that's totally right. Thanks for the motivation of need. So, guys, I just wanted to add some pointers to tell you what exactly we concluded with this particular conversation. See, if you are looking for high-paying jobs in an IT as a software engineer, as a company like Amazon or anything as such, to be very honest, only graduations is required as a kind of an eligibility factor to get you into the interview. That's it. And you just generally doesn't need, to put in so much good money into this particular engineering stuff or something. If you don't have, no need to worry about. You just need to learn certain skill set, and that's enough to crack those stuff. Because if you observed, Navneet said that he also had some freelancers and he also cracked and Navneet also cracked some Amazon stuff with the help of because he said that the company looks for experience. So how a fresher can show experience? A fresher can show experience by showcasing his skills and the projects. These are the experience they have. What freelancers have as experience? They have projects. So this is what company look for. They just see that this is the problem of my company, and they will try to ask those questions. Can you solve this problem, or have you worked on this similar sort of project? If yes, then you will be hired. It's as simple as that. All right. If I'm hiring any mechanic for my garage, I will see that are you able to fix this sort of vehicle? If he will say yes, he can fix it, you will hire. Doesn't matter what background he is. All right, move on. So this is a reminder for everybody, whoever is staying with us, right? Let me tell you once again, we are still into the contest where we are going to give the 9 month software engineering course, the premium course of coding and razors, which promises job guarantee, that too for free. All right. This contest is going to end in just after 30 minutes. The link is into the chat section. Go register. Don't forget, all you need is to just hear this particular masterclass till the end very properly. Be ready with the questions because sooner after just 10 minutes we'll be going to the Q&A session. Now let's move on and understand more about this particular software engineering stuff, what exactly it is, and how we can become one and a lot more into this. All right. So Navneet, so we can see there's a lot of words and the fancy words are there into the market where we are very confused about, like the way data analyst and data scientist is confusing us. Similarly, software engineers, full stack developers, software developer, these are the keywords are actually confusing us, specifically for the people like us who are from a non-IT background. Would you like to throw some light to make us understand that is these are all synonyms, or what exactly the difference is, or do we really need to worried about choosing this, that I need to become a software developer or an engineer, or like what would you say on that?
All right. See, to be honest, software developer and software engineer is more of a same thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing is that sometimes software engineering is more of a
Mm-hmm.
team activity, you can say. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Software development is, you can say, you. I mean, obviously you have a team in that case as well. But the
Mm-hmm.
only thing is that in the development you can do it individually as well. All right. And in the case of software engineering,
Mm-hmm.
you can say there is an entire process,
Mm-hmm.
okay, involved in
Mm-hmm.
that. And if I talk about the development is just one aspect of the entire whole software
Mm-hmm.
project. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be one of the basic difference between these, and in general both are the same. I mean, some companies give you the role as software engineer, some companies give you the role as software developer. I mean, that's like more of the same thing, but in
Mm-hmm.
general you can say software developers mostly work into maybe
Mm-hmm.
specialize in specific domains and all, and then
Mm-hmm.
in the case of engineering, they have other benefits as well in general, but like more of the same things. I mean, I don't see any major difference in this, but the only thing I would talk about is that full stack developer. So what
Mm-hmm.
does a full stack developer mean? So full stack developer is more of you can say a person who knows what does a full stack mean. Basically, full stack is nothing but it consists of two stacks actually. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it is back end, then
Mm-hmm.
there is a front end.
Okay.
Okay. So you have, let's say, these two things, and if you club those into one, that
Mm-hmm.
becomes full stack. Okay. Now,
Okay.
if you talk about what is front end, what is back end. So, in general, if I try to make you understand about what is front end and what is back end, you guys might have
Mm-hmm.
used any of the applications, Instagram,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Facebook. You might have used any of the, let's say, payment apps, or you might
Mm-hmm.
have used, any kind of application. Mostly social media, everybody uses. So you can talk about that. So whatever you see,
Mm-hmm.
you scroll. Let's say you click on like, right? You comment. So
Mm-hmm.
all those activities which you do in your app is front end.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, what is backend in that case? You might ask. So backend is something that you don't see, but it
Mm-hmm.
it plays a very very major role into entire application.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? For example, you clicked on a like button.
Mm-hmm.
Now you are interacting in the front end.
Mm-hmm.
How does, let's say, if I am using social media, let's say Instagram, and Amir is using Instagram. So
Mm-hmm.
let's say I liked his photo. I
Mm-hmm.
liked it in my device, right? How will Amir get to know that, okay, Navneet liked my photo, right?
Exactly.
That's how backend comes into picture. That's where the backend is there. So because of backend, it is able to make sure that things are actually stored for a longer period of time, and also
Mhm,
it is making sure that things persist. For example, if
mhm,
you kill your app, killing is nothing but when you, let's say, sometimes you open your there is some clear cache kind of options, right? When you try to, let's say, use low end devices. So there it is more of, you need to remove things from the recent apps so that you can clear the memory or free the space, right? So that your phone starts working perfectly fine. So in those cases, it is not
mhm,
like if it was just front end,
mhm,
the moment you close the app, it is
mhm,
gone. The moment you come back, it will be fresh again. It will not be storing those things. So if, let's say, if I talk about the backend will help you to make sure things are working and staying for a longer period of time, even though you closed the app, you logged out, you deleted your account, let's say, then in that case it is a different thing. But in general, things will stay. So just to understand, when you store something for a
mhm,
longer period of time, and you make sure that same things are available in across the world. Let's say if I
mhm,
log in my laptop, the
mhm,
Instagram same account, it should be saying, showing me the latest photos, comments, likes, right? Same thing should happen in my phone, right? So both of them should be in sync. So how does that happen? That happens because of backend. So that's how backend and front end are, that actually club in and make full stack.
Wow, that's well a good explanation for we got a pretty much good clarity. Thank you so much for this. Now the questions comes in a mind that what sort of a skill set or the tool I need to learn to get a command on this sort of a beautiful thing like a front end or a back end thing. Like what exactly the tools and things we need to learn.
So see, first thing that is the primary thing is
Mm-hmm.
programming. Okay.
Okay.
So programming is something that you can say will come in picture. Either you are working in front end, either you are working in back end. In both the
Mm-hmm.
cases, programming will play an important role. But what else?
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of other, frameworks and technologies that come in picture
Mm-hmm.
once you know programming, which will help you to become a maybe front end developer, back end developer, or a full stack developer. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
that's where HTML, CSS,
Mm-hmm.
JavaScript, React, those comes into front end category. And
Yeah.
if I talk about back end, you talk about database. If you remember, I just mentioned that you need to store. That's where database comes into picture.
Mm-hmm.
Database will help you. For example, SQL, NoSQL, they will help you to store the data for a longer period of time. And similarly, Python or maybe Node.js or any other framework, Java or anything. So all
Mm-hmm.
those are in the category of backend. So
Mm-hmm.
these are different frameworks, different technology.
Mm-hmm.
You can pick any of the technology. Okay. And you can pick and get started and start working on it. That will be helpful in the cases of backend. Okay. And when you club entire technology stack, you become
Mm-hmm.
a full stack developer. If you know both front end and back end development, you are a full stack developer.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Thank you. And what exactly would comment on like people generally thinks that because I have seen in my class that the most talented person usually speaks less. And then when I grilled, then I understand one thing that they are having some communication problem. So when you hire yourself, like when you hire somebody for your team, Navneet, so, do you really give importance to these soft skills, or you're just more concerned about this particular tools, the technical stuff?
Cool. I think yes, I do give importance to that, even if I am hiring for intern level.
Mm-hmm.
So recently,
Mm-hmm.
yesterday only, we were discussing about two interns who were having almost the same skill sets. I mean, one of the intern was having maybe a bit more points onto the technical side, but somewhere or the other, we all were having a bit favor towards the other intern because we liked
Mm-hmm.
talking to him.
Understood.
Okay, so I mean, by just this example, you can understand okay how important is your communication and your presentation skill
Mm-hmm.
sets, and how you interact with people, how you communicate your things to people, and how you think about
Mm-hmm.
any kind of problem statement given to you. How do you
Mm-hmm.
approach towards it? How do you tell the other person that this is what you're thinking? This is what is my approach towards solving anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where these kind of soft skills come into picture, which will
Mm-hmm.
help you ultimately gain a good trust among your peers, among
Mm-hmm.
your colleagues. And
Mm-hmm.
it will also help you grow in the different level and different speed, because
Mm-hmm.
people will know that okay, this is a person who is able to talk
Mm-hmm.
about it, and he is able to explain whatever he's thinking about, and he is able to participate into team meetings, in let's say presentations. Let's say if you worked on any of the
Mm-hmm.
project, and you are supposed to give a presentation, if you don't have a communication skills, how will you communicate to other people? Let's say client is there, for
Mm-hmm.
example, how will you communicate it? So
Mm-hmm.
that's where all these soft skills will matter a lot. And if you don't have those soft skills, you need to start working on it, because ultimately these are one of the primary things. Because see, people will remember that okay, you were able to do nice work,
Mm-hmm.
but if you are also having a good soft skills, they will also know you as a
Mm-hmm.
person as well, right? So they'll say that he was a good person apart from being a good developer, right? So
Understood.
communication is very important, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not just about verbal communication; it is also about written communication. So you need to do both, written and verbal, right?
Got
So
it.
this
Got
is
it.
something that I have learned and experienced, and have seen people struggling and growing with the, on the same things.
So, if I'll just ask about your graduation time, I'm sure that we always have some sort of a people who are more talented than us, right? But have you observed any of your friends who is more talented than you, maybe, and but didn't got great package compared to you just because of the communication skills?
I have a few of the examples in my mind. I can't take the names, but yeah,
Right, right.
I have friends who were really talented, who were having, good amount of knowledge, good amount of problem solving skills. But the only thing was, I mean, he was in my class. He was classmate of mine. We were in a same section.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I was like, I was seeing that, okay, why is he struggling? He knows a lot of things. Why is he not able to
Mm-hmm.
speak? So sometimes, I mean, he was good friend of mine as well. So I was like, I used to talk to him that why are you not even trying to speak? Try to speak it. I mean, don't care about who all are sitting around you. Just try to speak. For example, in the class, also teacher used to ask. He was knowing the answer, but he used to struggle a lot in terms of saying
Mm-hmm.
simple
Mm-hmm.
answer. So I was sometimes helping him in terms of don't worry about others, try to speak, however you are able to speak. But try to speak. Because if you will not speak, that is a problem. Okay.
Hmm.
So it is very important. But he's now placed in Amazon itself, but earlier he was not. Okay.
It took
So
time to cover up, right? It took
it
a lot
took
of
time.
time.
Exactly. So that is the importance of, the
Communication skill.
communication skills and all the
Understood.
other soft skills as well.
Understood. Understood. Thank you so much for a better understanding. So, guys, this is also very much important. Kindly don't ignore it. All right. So now I just wanted to understand one thing from you, Navneet, just because you are doing so good in your career, and for sure we would want to understand your secret, that how exactly you are making your career so smooth and always like your graph is going like this. So could you just tell us that, what was your career path and how did you grow your earnings? Like whatever the XYZ earning you have right now. Now, definitely, like we are a human being, we wanted to always grow, we are always unsatisfied. So what strategies you will be using to make your income more double or triple? Can you please share with us?
Right. So see, okay. So one thing is obviously, if I talk about the career path, I mean, see, the primary thing is hunger. I would say the one word thing that I really look for is hunger for, growing, hunger for earning good amount of money, right? So see, I mean, being a human being or being a person, you are having a lot of responsibilities as well. But apart from that, you somewhere or the other down the line, you want to have a good life, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the primary thing which you have in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have that in your mind, you will obviously start working towards it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you are in the IT, maybe you are in non-IT, maybe you are in, let's say, banking sector or anything. I mean, that's all non-IT, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have that kind of hunger, you will never stop. And if
Mm-hmm.
you don't stop, you will grow. Okay, that's the bare minimum thing that I would say. But
Mm-hmm.
talking about specific to the technical side,
Mm-hmm.
which is mostly you can say, because I've worked and a lot of companies. I mean, sometimes people might say it in a say see it in a wrong way that you have switched a lot of companies, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not like more of a wrong thing you can say, because in the initial you can do the switching in terms of growing. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
just to be honest, it's pretty straightforward. What you need to do is, I mean, let's say if you start with your internship, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I did as a person, individual, right?
Mm-hmm.
Individually, what I did was basically apart from doing the internship, apart from the project that I was working in the company, or let's say being a full-time software engineer as well,
Mm-hmm.
apart from the company work,
Mm-hmm.
in my free time, which you might say looking for a work-life balance, in
Mm-hmm.
that case, what I was doing was I was increasing my skills. I was working on my skills apart from my office work. Okay. The reason is if you work on your own project and your own, maybe new skill set or maybe the same skill set
Mm-hmm.
in a different way, you will actually grow.
Mm-hmm.
It is not mandatory that you just need to work in your office and then you'll be growing. It's not like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying go and work for other company as well, but I'm just saying
Mm-hmm.
that try to do projects on your own as well. Try to keep
Mm-hmm.
yourself engaged, at least in the initial stage. Because what
Understood.
will happen is if you are in the initial stage, you are young,
Mm-hmm.
right? What will happen in that case? If you're young, you can put in extra efforts. Okay, I'm
Exactly.
not asking you to, keep working 24 hours, but I mean, uh, in general, I would say at least try to invest 2, 3 hours
Mm-hmm.
apart from your office work
Mm-hmm.
on your own personal skill sets. And if you
Mm-hmm.
do that, it will help you in the long run. Because when you get into a company and if you talk about something that you are not working on, people
Mm-hmm.
will get an attention towards you. What will they think? They know, okay, this person knows about this as well. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's great. I mean, I think he is having more knowledge on this. And then people will start respecting you, first of all. You'll gain the respect of your colleagues, right? Because of your extra knowledge. It's not about you showing it off, it is just about
Mm-hmm.
talking about it, right? So it's completely normal. If you talk about what you know, it
Mm-hmm.
you will gain trust. People will start putting efforts and confidence in you, right? That
Mm-hmm.
this is a person whom I can trust, and when
Exactly.
you gain the trust, ultimately it will help you in that, right? So that's how
Mm-hmm.
it is. I mean, so it is pretty straightforward. Keep working additionally apart from your office work on your skill set,
Mm-hmm.
at least in the early stage, because you have that kind of a time where you can put those efforts. Once you are married, or let's say once you are, let's say you
Mm-hmm.
reach at a certain age, you will not be interested into putting an
Yeah.
effort, right?
Exactly.
If you're not interested, you will not be able to put. You'll be like happy with your office work, and that's it. The moment your office is over, you'll shut your laptop and do other things. But right now, this is the time where you can do all those things, which I just talked about.
Exactly.
If you do it, your growth will definitely be an exponential. I can give you in return. If you
Wow.
do it, you will have definitely an exponential growth. That's how I have I've been doing, and I
Mm-hmm.
still try to continue that until I reach at a certain stage where I want to be. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just about hustling.
Exactly. Exactly. Wow. So it's pretty much clear that the digits that we are observing and the dreaming of to earn up to 36 lakh, 30 lakhs is it's genuinely it's a lot of hard works. All right. So we can do that. Even we can also help you in understanding about all of these things. That's not a problem. And now, as we have already understand that what sort of a things he is doing and how exactly he's developing his career, we got a pretty good clarity about it, and we also understood what we need to do to reach that level. For sure, that we need to work independently, definitely as individual body, and we have to master all the high demand tools which Navneet have already mentioned in the previous slides. And you need to start working in a lot of startups or an MNC, and then you will get a hang of it, that what exactly the requirement is, and that's how the switching will help. I would like to add some comments on the switching part. People generally, even some people say that why you switch so much of companies, why we should not switch so much of companies. Are we in government job? For sure, no. We are in private jobs. Just raise your CTCs and the growth. That's it. You can just correct me if I'm wrong, Navneet. Is it logical, right? For sure, if you are in private, we have to
You
grow
don't have
and we
any
have.
job security.
Yeah, I mean,
You don't
generally
have
the private.
pension.
Exactly. I mean, like uh, private are any which ways are mentioned as like there's no job security or something. But we know the reality that the privates are the one can give much better life, and if there's no pension or something like a government job, then keep switching and increase your raise. Increase your income and keep
Right.
growing. That's the real game, man. What's wrong in that? Even it's much better because in government you will be just stuck to one thing. But I'm not disrespecting that. I respect that. But the people who generally disrespect this private thing, that's not fair. All right. So how we can help you to grow this particular, understand everything and get into this profession? I can see a lot of questions I have already started coming in how they can do it. So the simple and clear answer is start mastering all hard skills. The only which is needed, not like multiple tools, like on a bunch of tools, 10, 15, no, basic tools, which Navneet has mentioned. Get a career assistance from us. We will help you to schedule an interview for you and take your multiple mock interviews to polish you so that you can pitch right and get selected, because people rarely get a first call. If they're getting a first call, they need to make it correct and they need to nail it in that first call itself. All right. So we will be there to help you from to learn from a scratch to an advanced level. And the main reason towards learning for us with us is because we have the project based learning. Project based learning will make you more practical and experienced. So when you will talk in front of interviewer, you will make more sense because you will not be only talking theoretical stuff. You will be talking like you already know the solutions for the problem that they are facing right now. So that is a kind of a different impact you will create when you will be having an interviews. All right. So we're going to discuss a lot more. that how exactly we can change the job and how to switch and everything. But before that, just wanted to understand from you all that, guys, can you see Navneet, or if you can hear Navneet well? Just give me if you can see him, because I cannot see. If you guys can see, let me know so that we can ask him to refresh and so that we can see Navneet again. So just comment on the chat box if you can see Navneet or not. All right. So as I cannot see anybody, can you please just say that? Can you see the Navneet, our guest speaker? All right. I'm just waiting for the comment, guys. Meanwhile, we will be discussing about. Okay. Some people are saying no. So Navneet, let's do one thing. Yeah. Now I can see. Now I can see Navneet. Perfect. Perfect. That's great. So Navneet, just because you changed, because somewhere now you are experienced or something, right? And you have worked in Amazon or something. What suggestion would you give it to us that if we are from a non-IT background, how we can change and what hack we should use to for the job switch, what platform we should use and get the things done?
All right. See, there is a pretty straightforward thing, which
Mm-hmm.
is, I mean, even if you are from non-IT background, even if you are
Mm-hmm.
from IT background, it's pretty much same.
Mm-hmm.
Which is basically you need to update your resume with your
Mm-hmm.
right set of skill sets.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say you just need to verify which
Mm-hmm.
company you're applying for, which role you're applying for, and try to make sure that your resume is matching with those requirements. All right, because
Mm-hmm.
this initially it is like you need to look for the companies, and
Mm-hmm.
once you get experience, companies look for you.
Mm-hmm.
People will reach out to you that this is at the opening. Are you available for the
Okay.
interview? Are you looking for out for a change or not? Right. So those
Mm-hmm.
things happen once you have experience. But in the initial, you need to make sure wherever you're applying, your resume is matching with those skill sets, right?
Got
Whatever
it.
requirement, right? So that's pretty much straightforward thing. And apart from that, there are a lot of websites these days in India itself. I mean, Naukri.com, Insta
Mm-hmm.
Hire, Cutshot, and Top Hire. So all these companies and these platforms are actually to help the job seekers basically. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so companies are creating their profiles, and also Angel.co. All those, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
startups are listed over there. Startups look for the people on those platforms. Angel.co. You can just Google it out whenever
Mm-hmm.
you get time. All right, so those are the platforms where you can upload your
Mm-hmm.
I mean resume or create your profile and then start
Mm-hmm.
applying for it. All
Mm-hmm.
right, that's one of the important thing. And then apart from that, I think in terms of the skill sets, right, you need to make sure
Mm-hmm.
that whatever your skill sets you have mentioned in your resume,
Mm-hmm.
you are having good hands-on experience on it. Hands-on experience, it doesn't mean that you need to have a professional work experience, but it's more of you need to have worked on at least a project on those
Mm-hmm.
technologies. Because see, what matters for us as an interviewer or a
Mm-hmm.
company while hiring for a candidate is that
Mm-hmm.
the person should be able to justify their skill sets.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If let's say I'm hiring for a front end engineer or a back end engineer,
Mm-hmm.
I will expect that the person is able to talk about whatever he has mentioned in his resume, projects,
Okay.
and also technology. I might ask that, okay, what does this particular, I mean, let's say a particular question related to a technology, right? I might say that, okay, what does this do? You will say that, okay, this is so and so. Then I might ask the next question is that, did you implement it in your project? If yes, how did you do it? If no, then again, that is something that, okay, you are not 100% sure about it. You just know it theoretically. But if you say
Exactly.
that I have implemented it, I know how to do it, and
Mm-hmm.
this is how I did it, that actually gives you an added advantage in the interview. That will definitely give you, because I give those points to the
Mm-hmm.
person who's able to justify things in his project.
Understood.
Because recently we were hiring for interns, so
Mm-hmm.
we were doing that kind of analysis which I just explained to you. If he is able to communicate, if he is able to talk about the projects which he worked on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is pretty much which I look for. And then obviously learning the different sort of skill sets depends on
Mm-hmm.
how you are learning and approaching towards it. So that for that you need a right set of guidance, and if you are in the right direction, then I think definitely you should be able to get into any of the companies. So that's
Great, great.
pretty.
So we got a pretty deep clarity on how we can switch, what sort of platform we can use, and there's a lot more things involved in that, and I'll be mentioning it for sure. But now we will be now after just 1 or 2 minutes, we will be moving towards Q&A. So Navneet, I would request you to have a glass of water. Meanwhile, I'll just give some information to the people that how you can, make the things work in a job switch. All right.
Sure.
So we as a coding invaders as well also have a career center which will help you to crack the jobs and practice this particular stuff with the mock calls and having a multiple sessions with industrial expert so that you can have a better job hunting strategy as well as you can crack it in the one go itself. There are a lot of things involved in that. Just don't take it lightly, just like applying and get just looking at the vacancy and applying. No, it needs a lot of CV structure thing. You need to be very serious about CV. You need to be very serious about your social media presence when it comes to LinkedIn, because the big companies usually get 5,000, 10,000 lakhs of CVs on a daily basis. Do you really think that any HR will be shortlisting one by one? No. They use ATS, which is applicant tracking system. And that applicant tracking system, they enter certain keywords with the name of tools or something, and the keywords matches with the CV, and the CV comes on top. That's how people get shortlisted. So how you can come on top? For that, you need a better CV structure. You need to learn that high demanding skill set, the tools. You need to have a proper structured LinkedIn profile. Then only you will come on a search result and start getting calls. So yeah, this is how it works. So you need to be very serious about it, right? We need to stop writing it like a hobby, like a playing cricket. All right. So moving ahead, let me tell you more about this. How does career center works? For sure, we have a CV training, 10 plus project in portfolio. Why project in portfolio is important? Because that's what they look for. They look for an experience, they look for what sort of work you have done, they look for what sort of a value you can provide it to them. For sure, the project will give them a much better clarity. All right. Multiple mock screening calls and test assignment will boost your confidence to talk in the way so that it should be more convincing enough for a brand or a companies who is hiring. They should get convinced to understand that you are the main person they are looking for. For sure, we have a huge demand in the market in India. So we have already more than 300 plus hiring partners. So for a one candidate, we apply for more than 300 plus job application. So for sure, everybody cracks it. If I'll just give your normal mm, logic behind it, if I'll schedule 10 interview for you, for sure you will crack at least one. So placement rate is high, and if you will go with all this strategy, you will definitely crack it. Make sense? All right. So now I before I move on to the Q&A, but I just wanted to mention you that we are still into the contest. The link is into the chat section, and you can go because in just after 10-20 minutes I'll be announcing the winner for sure. You can go register because I want to remind you all, whoever have joined in the mid of this particular webinar, we are giving this premium course of Coding Invaders, which promises job guarantee with an agreement, and that too for free. So you just need to watch this webinar till the end. Be ready with all the questions so that we can start. So as I said, we teach with the multiple one-on-one sessions and a lot more mentorship and a lot more things are involved in terms of making you more personalized learning experience and getting unlimited video calls with the mentors, not only for a fresher but also for a working professionals even in the late night as well. So all the things are involved so that you can learn everything from scratch to an advanced level. And for that, it needs a lot of resources, and we have those resources available. So we are conducting this masterclass in support of our software engineer course. That is the fifth full stack developer. So here is the batch going to start sooner and the end of this particular November. And if I'll talk about this particular program, this is a 9 months program which have a job guarantee agreement, powerful career track alongside the studying process. You will be having a one-on-one sessions, live sessions. If you will miss, you'll get the recorded one as well. All the high demand tools are available. You just need to give 1.5 hours on a daily basis to get the things done, because it is possible for everybody, because in India on an average people are scrolling Instagram for more than 2 hours, right? And we don't know. So if you will invest 1.5 hours on a daily basis for yourself, you will be having a very good life. So it's time to get serious and start taking actions. And it doesn't matter at what age you are in. All right. So we are going to announce the contest winner, who will be the winner. But before that, we are going to start this particular uh, Q&A sessions. So the link is into the chat section, guys. I'm again reminding, and I will be checking the sheet and I will be choosing the winner just after the Q&A sessions. Meanwhile, I'm just checking the questions and what all sort of questions you have, do ask, so that I can directly take it to our guest speaker and get the things done. All right. The main question is, I have received. Okay. So one question from Tariq Aman. I am 43 and was never in IT industry. Do I stand a chance with my little bit of CL knowledge on Linux distros? I don't know what is CL is. Navneet, if you got the question. Is
Command line, is it so? I mean, I'm just trying to understand if it is on Linux, it might be command line.
Yeah, 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 maybe. So he wrote in that way, like he's 43, so I can understand he's having some age doubt. Plus, he's having a little bit doubt in his knowledge in Linux. So, would you like to comment anything if he still have a hope to get into this stuff?
See, I think pretty much until and unless you are fit, right, and you are okay to work,
Mm-hmm.
I don't see age as that kind of a barrier. But obviously, some companies might have those kind of thing. But generally, I haven't never seen any kind of clause for an age.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for getting into IT. That's the first thing. Secondly, talking about the skills, right? I mean, Linux is like very, uh, one of the like frequently used tool or command line commands which we generally use in our day-to-day life as a
Mm-hmm.
developer. But it's not just the skill set which Linux will help you, but also you need to have some kind of other skills which you might help you to get into the industry quickly. Because for Linux specifically, there are very very few openings in general, right? People don't really have, like, you might not find hundreds of opening for Linux developers, I mean, person who is having experience on Linux, right? But you
Mm-hmm.
might see hundreds of openings for the person looking for a front end developer. You might see QA developer, engineer. You might see back end developer, right? So those like are very you can say common job openings you might see. And if you want to get into IT quickly, so you need to maybe try to learn those things first, and that will help you, quickly get into the IT. That could be the possible, important thing.
Understood. Understood. Thank you so much. There's one question from Rudra that she has written, "Sir, does all that you are telling applied for a normal BSc graduate? Please clear the doubt."
I think I mentioned in between while we were talking. I
Mm-hmm.
think, see, as I said, right? I mean, if you are a BSc graduate, right, what are you doing after that will matter. If you say that I want to get into IT, that's your
Mm-hmm.
goal now. And for getting into that goal or maybe achieving that goal, you need to have a specific steps to go towards that. And
Mm-hmm.
those steps are pretty straightforward, right? You
Mm-hmm.
need to figure out what are the skill sets you can learn, and what are the skill sets you are interested into, and what are the skill sets you can easily grab on, and you want to build a career into that. And if you are that kind of a person, then
Mm-hmm.
you can get into that and you can start with scratch. It doesn't matter where you talk about that I was not having any knowledge on coding. That's fine. I mean, you can get
Mm-hmm.
started from scratch. That's how it works, right? I mean, anyways, down the line, I was also someone who didn't know any programming, right? I started learning it and then I got into those things, right? So it's
Yeah.
same thing for everyone. If you want to go into it, you just need to start from basics. First clear your basic and then learn technology or framework, and then get start for internship opportunities or full-time roles.
Understood. 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 All right. There's one person, Kushal Goyal. I am a mechanical engineer. I am 31-year old and I'm not doing anything related to my field. At this age, I am afraid of switching to IT field. Also, I don't even know the C of a coding. What are my options? Also, my social life is zero.
A lot of questions in the same same question itself. All right, I think, see, I can see two major questions in this,
Mm-hmm.
right? One is, it doesn't matter, you're not doing anything related to your own field. I mean, you have your live example in front of you. Amir Akhtar, he is also a mechanical engineer and he's not doing anything related to his field. So I think that answers your question. But talking about the second thing, which is like, I don't know about, anything related to coding. As I mentioned, it is just about you need to get, I mean, first of all, decide and have a clear understanding and a goal in front of you that okay, this is what I want to achieve. And if that is clear, that okay, I want to get into IT, forget about this. Afraid you're afraid about switching into IT or something like that. That doesn't matter. See, recession is going on, but it is not impacting the good developers. All right. I mean, it is impacting few of the developers, but it doesn't mean that those developers were bad. It is just that company was looking into maybe cutting down the cost of the, from the people, right? Workforce, you can say. So, but those developers, if they were good, they will easily get the job into a different company. I have a lot of friends
Exactly.
who were laid off and then they immediately got into very, very high packages. So that doesn't mean that the person who got laid off is a person who is having less knowledge. It is just about your,
It's just a business decision.
exactly. That's not your any kind of a mistake. It is just about company's own decision, maybe their own steps to figure out. So forget about being afraid about it. Just
Mm-hmm.
have a clear set of idea that okay, this is what I want to do, and the next step should be just start working on it. And if you
Mm-hmm.
put efforts, you will be able to do it. That's
Exactly.
straightforward.
Exactly.
That there is nothing else you need to know about. You just need
Got
to know about your goal, and just need to know what I need to learn right now. What is the next step? What is the next step? And what is the next step? That
it.
I have been talking about. So I think that steps are pretty much clear, right? In
Mm-hmm.
general.
Got it. Got it. Thank you so much. And I would like to add one comment. As you said, my social life is zero.
Yeah,
So it's just a matter of a LinkedIn profile. There, you don't need to upload your pictures. You have to just update your work. Okay. So that LinkedIn, I'm talking. I'm not talking about the link, Instagram or Facebook where you need to put up the selfies or something. So of course, you are 31 years of age. You must have done something in your life. You can put it, right? That will be considered as an experience. Now, one thing I wanted to ask you, Navneet, like what in all over the world, what people are thinking, the news that is coming that Twitter fired, laid off like 11,000 employees, and Meta laid off 10,000, and Amazon is also thinking to laid off this thing.
already did.
And people are like thinking that, oh my God, these people must be in trouble or something. I feel that not even a single problem. They will even get much higher package in other competitor. They are. I'm not. I'm sure that they are just waiting for the notice period to just end up, and they will
They'll
get
join.
much higher CTC in the maybe a smaller startup, but there will nothing impact on them, right?
Correct.
Yeah, yeah. So it's all about a decision making. It's just like
Right.
Elon Musk had his decision related to his business, so he took the decision. But that's not a problem. Okay, it's if you are a good developer, nothing will
Just
impact you.
believe in your skill sets and believe in yourself. That's it.
Exactly, exactly,
You should be able to do it.
exactly, exactly. So all I just wanted to just say that guys, that was laid off that is happening is just a business decision. It's not all about like what exactly it is, what we think generally. So there's one question I'm just picking up the right question. Dhananjay, I have a 12 years of experience in finance and want to learn coding, which can be used for my experience. Which language I should target to learn?
All right. So I think if you're in finance, I mean, see, it's not like language doesn't matter. You can do the similar thing in different languages, but I would say one is obviously you need to have the understanding of the maybe uh, databases, or maybe you might be good as an analyst,
Mm-hmm.
or if you want to be a developer, then maybe you can maybe because in data analyst role and data science roles as well, you need Python, and generally Python is used over there because you need to analyze the data
Mm-hmm.
by writing some code. You
Mm-hmm.
get some inferences from that data, and then you decide on the business, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where Python will help you, I would say. And in general, database knowledge will help you.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the primary thing I would suggest for you specifically.
Understood. Understood. I have last two questions left. One question from Dash. Does gap matter for getting a good job?
No, see, it is just that you need to justify.
Mm-hmm.
You just need to give a proper justification, even if it was like you were, let's say, having physical I mean, let's say health issue or maybe the family issues. You just need to justify it. That's it. I mean, it doesn't matter.
It's how genuinely we are putting in
Yes,
and
exactly.
telling. If we
There's
will,
a genuine
if
gap.
we,
I mean, if what it was like, I mean, let's say, forget about genuine. I mean, it's like, let's say I wanted to try into non-IT professional, for example.
Mhm,
I wanted to try into business,
mhm,
right? I tried business for 2 years. Let's say it didn't work. I wanted to get back into IT. It doesn't matter. I mean, I did still something.
mhm,
I just need to talk about it as an experience. What were the learnings,
mhm.
right? So it is just about that. It doesn't matter. I mean, if you have a gap, you just need to provide a justification. That's it. It doesn't matter what you did and was it relevant to your current role which you are applying for. No one cares. It's
Understood.
just that you justify that.
Understood. And the last question is from MSS. I don't know what the exact name is. It's into the pointers, by the way. Pointer number one: how can a non-IT person learn tech and compete with IT professionals? Pointer second is: it takes a lot of unlearn first to learn IT afresh. How is this facilitated? Third, what are the basic requirement even from non-ITs? Wow.
Okay, repeat the first question.
The first one is like, how can a non-IT person learn tech and compete with IT professions?
So I think this is what I have been talking about in this webinar itself. I mean, it's just pretty straightforward, right? I mean, if you are a non-IT,
Mm-hmm.
you might still be doing something, right? In maybe you
Mm-hmm.
might have studied something at least, right? And
Yeah.
I'm talking about the second point which you mentioned. I'll try to club it in one only. You
Mm-hmm.
where you mentioned about it requires a lot of unlearning, a lot of things, and then learning. It is not just with you, just to be honest. It also
Mm-hmm.
happens with the IT developers as well. You need to unlearn to learn something, right? It is
Mm-hmm.
also relevant to your life. You need to unlearn
Exactly.
some of the bad experiences maybe, and you need to come up with the maybe let's say whatever is coming for you in future, right? So you need
Mm-hmm.
to prepare for it. So it
Mm-hmm.
is just about the perspective, first thing. And
Mm-hmm.
secondly, you just don't need to unlearn in general. If I
Mm-hmm.
talk, to be honest, you just need to use those experiences from their, whatever you did. Let's say
Mm-hmm.
you were from a non-IT background, you might still be doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Those experiences will help you to grow in IT
Mm-hmm.
when you are preparing. Let's say you might have studied in that as well, right, in your
Mm-hmm.
non-IT background. So that studying factor will help you at least, right? When you are studying, you know that okay, how to approach, how to
Mm-hmm.
learn things quickly. This is a new thing which you're learning. If even if you're learning, let's say commerce, let's say accounting you're doing, right,
Mm-hmm.
or economics, right, you need to learn still, right?
Exactly.
Just imagine it as a separate different subject. That's it. You just
Mm-hmm.
need to understand that okay, this is a new subject I'm learning, and how
Mm-hmm.
to approach towards learning a new subject. It is from scratch. You need to understand the basics.
Yeah.
Basic foundation is laid, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can build anything on top of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is
Mm-hmm.
what we did in when we were in school, right? I mean, in ninth, eighth, ninth, right? People start going for IT coachings where they have this whole foundation courses, right? When you are in 10th standard, then you
Mm-hmm.
come into 11th, 12th. That's where that whole advanced courses come into picture. So this
Exactly.
is also similar thing. I mean, basic foundation is required, and then comes the advanced things. Then comes
Exactly.
learning the different technology stacks. But at
Mm-hmm.
least you need to have the basic foundation. Once that is done, no one cares about where you are from. And I mean, you can easily compete with the IT professional. Because
Exactly.
what happened? How do you differentiate a non-IT and IT person?
Mm-hmm.
About his knowledge, right? If you have the knowledge, if you stand with me, if you talk about the same thing, how will a other person recognize whether you are a non-IT professional or a IT professional?
Yeah, exactly. Makes sense.
Exactly, right? So it's just about that. Gain experience, have a basic foundation cleared, and then work on the advanced things. That's it.
Understood.
I think
Understood.
I think I covered all the 3 points, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly, exactly. So, thank you for this detailed answer. And yeah, I would just say that thank you for all the questions. I hope I have covered everybody's questions. And our guest speaker is already running out of time. But yeah, I genuinely thank Navneet for giving your time to us and helping our audience to get their doubts solved. But one thing I observed is that all the questions are having a lot of hesitations and myths and the confusions in their mind. The only one liner I would conclude by saying that genuinely it only needs a formal graduation, any graduation, to get an eligibility to get the things done. You just need to learn the skill set. That's it. And anything else you would like to say, Navneet, to the audience before going? Because just I'm just done with these questions. If you want to give any last message, and I'm also attaching the link of Navneet LinkedIn profile, guys. You can connect with Navneet if you wanted to text him personally. You can get connected with him. So, anything lastly you would like to say, Navneet, to the
I
people?
think yes. Thanks, Amir, anyways, for having me in this webinar. And also, I mean, see, most of the questions that you guys had, right, guys, it is just about the perspective.
Mhm,
And make sure if you decide your goal, you just need
mhm,
to get started with it. Right, the first step is important. I mean, you might think multiple things, but the first step towards your goal is very important. And if you
mhm,
take that, I
mhm,
think you should be able to achieve any kind of goals whichever you have in your life. Right, I think.
exactly.
And also, I mean, it was great to answer those questions you guys had, and I
Mhm,
hope I have answered those questions in a very, very basic ways. At least I've tried to make it very simple, not too complicated.
mhm,
And I think you guys, once you get, let's say, get started with your own goals,
mhm.
I think you should be able to do it, and just need to have your faith in yourself. And yeah, I mean, that's what I did, and I would suggest you guys to do.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you so much, Navneet, for this kind words. And it was genuinely very knowledgeable and very motivational session for us. And definitely a lot of people who are hesitating will now start taking actions. Thank you so much, Navneet, for joining us. We'll see you again in the next webinar for sure to help all the beautiful people like this again.
Right. Thanks, Amar. Thanks, guys. Have a good
Yeah.
day. Bye.
Have a nice day. All right, guys. So I know that everybody has a wonderful session with Navneet, and everybody has interacted with Navneet, got a beautiful solutions, and I'm sure everybody is motivated. Now, at times comes to announce the winner and a lot more things to the contest and everything. So I know everybody was waiting to know who is the winner who can win this course for free. So yes, you can be the person who can win this course for free. All right. So just to remind you once again, we are still into this contest. What we are doing in this contest, we are giving one premium course that promises job guarantee to become a software engineer for 9 months, that too for free. In just 5 minutes, I'm going to announce the winner right in front of you by sharing my screen so that you can see that, yes, exactly, you can be the one. So we have already started this contest in the just the start of this webinar and going to end this contest in just after 5 minutes. So the link is into the chat section. To all the people who have joined after my announcement, go participate, register in that particular link which is given into the chat section. Go register and come back, give me thumbs up, and then I'll be announcing the winner for sure. All right. So moving ahead, let me give you some more information. So when you will click on this particular link, you will get a dialog box like this. Go drop your number, email, and I will be showing the sheet and I'll be announcing the winner just looking at this particular people who have participated. All right. Moving ahead. So what exactly we have concluded in this particular webinar, we make sure that you have everything to get this job. The kind of a research and the discussion that we made to solve all the problems we have researched into lot of Indians and international big companies and got an idea that what exactly the requirement of a engineer is, and then we have made it the whole in the format of a course. That's how a product is made, right? We did research, we find out what is the minimum thing required, and we made a course out of it, and that's how it is helping all the people. So the best part is in this particular course that we are giving, that is having a 10 real business case studies that is sufficient enough to show that yes, you have an experience, you can compete with a tech professional with that. You will be having teamwork experience, you will have all tech tools ready, hands-on experience you will be having like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, SQL, Python. You will be having an amazing, outstanding, ideal resume and a detailed plan. You will be getting how to hunt a job and get the things done. All right. So majority of the people think that it's hard to find a time for all this. Trust me, if you are serious and motivated enough, you can do it. It's just an excuse that I don't get a time. Trust me, you will get a time. It's just a matter of 1.5 hours on a daily basis, right? So whenever you are coming, see, we have all this online learning platform, right? So whenever you are available, open the laptop, start doing. And we have made the one-on-one approach so flexible that you will be having the live sessions, 3 classes every week. Even if you will miss, if you are a working professional or anything or a busy student, if you're working like busy, then you can have this recorded one available. And we have unlimited one-on-one call as well. So whenever you are free, get a call with the mentors and get the things done. and those are the things available for all 7 days. That's interesting, right? Because if I'll be getting any teachers available for unlimited video calls, it means that I will not hesitate to ask the silliest questions. Whatever the doubt I have, I will just get it cleared. As simple as that. All right. So let me talk about the study format. It's 70 to 80% of a studying format is really, really very practical with the real business cases. And we have made that digital labs where you will be practicing everything. So the more mistake you will make, the more learning you will get. That's very much important. And yes, communication skills, as I said, very much important. So you will be facing a lot of you will be defending a lot of a project in front of mentors, like just like a real company. The way you do presentation, you will be doing this presentation in the front of mentors. That will make you habitual to this whole process of getting selected in the interview. All right, so when you will go to the actual interview, you will not feel that it's something new. You will feel very comfortable that you have done it 100 times before. So that's what sort of, this is sort of a grilling that we do, so that the people who are coming out of the course becomes really very much legit people to crack it, right? So it needs a lot of effort, and it's just a matter of 1.5 hours on a daily basis. Trust me, guys, that's it, nothing else. You need to be just consistent enough. Even if you're not so much motivated enough, if you are so much lazy person, leave everything, accept everything. Yes, you are a lazy, you are a average person or anything, but if you are consistent, you will get it. I have seen intellectual people not getting placement, but I have seen average people getting placement. The only difference was consistency. Because in the beginning, everybody is motivated. Oh my god, I'll get this thing, the IR 36 lakh package. Yes, this is what I was just looking for. But after joining this course, after 1 month, no motivation. So you need a self-discipline and consistency. That's what I want. Rest we will take care of it. No need to worry about. If I'll give you an example of the projects, so you will be able to make an apps like a shoes store, messenger, Facebook Messenger application, notes app, a lot more things. The apps, the websites that you're observing having crazy, visuals, Netflix or something, you would be able to make this type of thing. And you really don't know how much money you will get paid if you will make this type of things. It's huge in demand. If I talk about the hiring partners, then it is more like more than 300 hiring partners we have. You can have a look at the numbers, Fresher Works, Tiger Analytics, Stream 11, a lot more. All right. So we have that powerful career track. See, it's not all about just learning the skill set and getting the things done. No, it's all about also having a powerful career track. So CV, LinkedIn enhancing, GitHub profile, that is very much important. Mock interviews is very much important. Trust me, it's 200% important. And then you will be able to get your dream job. So we will practice so much that when you're going to the real interview, you will you will not be very nervous. In fact, you will be very much confident because you have already done it already like 100 times before. So you will be very confident, and that's how you will crack the maximum package. And now the question comes in that how much this all cost, right? So in this particular contest, we are giving this premium course to one of you for free. But let me give you a proper idea that what exactly the cost of it if you are not a winner. All right. So the general cost that the participant who are in this webinar. So there's a 37% discount that we are giving to all the people who have participated in this particular webinar. The current price is 11,030 rupees per month, but now just because of the Black Friday, we choose that audience should invest not into the markets but into their own career, which will definitely give us the results. So this is 6,880 per month. That's it, and it's only valid till 25th of November. 37% discount only for the people who are there in this particular contest. All right. And if you still, if suppose you want to make a decision later, you don't want to do it later after a month, but at least I would request you to go to the link and enter your details so that if you will come and register later, you should at least avail this particular things by telling that you were into the webinar. But this particular offer is only for till 25th of November. All right, it's not that you will get 37% off later also. Like till 25th of November, you'll get this thing, exclusive benefit. All right. Now let me tell you some more about the EMI programs. We have a cool and clear EMI programs, right? There's no fees for openings or no interest is involved. We will be paying interest for you. You just need to cover up the tuition fees. That's it. Nothing else. And the best part is if you are a person having a good circle of friends, and if you want to make the course more and more cheaper and more less price. So let me give you an example. If you are coming to the coding invaders and looking for going for a course, and you referred somebody, you will also get 5,000 discount, and your friend will also get a 5,000 discount. So here's a link. If you want to referral somebody, use this referral link I have pasted in this particular chat section. Now the question comes in, what if you have 10 friends? How much benefit you will get? So if you have 10 friends, if you're referring to 10 other friends, then all those 10 friends will give 5,000 each discount. Now you referred 10 people, so 5,000 into 10 is your discount. So it's like 50,000 free discount you can easily get with this referrals. So there's always two things worked. When I was also in the upskilling process, what worked for me when I was not able to manage those sort of money? EMI always helped me to manage my monthly expenses. If even not EMIs, everybody has friends. And there's nothing wrong if you're helping your friends to get in the right career. So guiding them with the right referral thing will not only help you, but help them as well. So for sure, if you genuinely more interested and motivated, you will figure out your way. Things are available. You just need to take action. That's all. Moving ahead, today's contest winner we will be going to announce in just 1 minute. So, guys, I am now going to announce the winner. I will not waste much time now. I know that everybody is now waiting to know the winner. All right. So, as I said, I'm going to announce the winner right now in just 1 minute now. The link is into the chat section, guys. If you have not participated and stayed till then, now I'm going to announce. No more discussion. I'm going to announce now. Go register over there. I'll just give you 1 minute and then I'll share my screen and I'll announce the winner. So, all the people who haven't registered yet, go and register and give me a thumbs up and let's do it. Okay. So, we're going to announce the contest result. What exactly it is, I'm repeating again. In this contest, one of you will win this 9 months premium course of Coding Invaders, that too for free, which promises job guarantee in a written agreement. So it is a win-win situation. All right. And to all the people who will not win, they will get a special offer. All right. So I got a message from Imtiaz Sheikh. He's already done. And people are giving thumbs up. So let me check how many people are there. So numbers are increasing. Guys, quickly, 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 quickly. I just don't want anybody should lose this opportunity. Sometimes what happens, people comes at the end, wins at the end. So I don't want to miss anybody. So the last person who registered is Asad Rabbani. So anybody else who is left, invite your friends, participate. I'll just wait for 10 more seconds. Ashak Hussain has registered lastly. And I'll wait for 10 more seconds, guys. All right. So I'm just starting the countdown. Ajit always saying, let's see how much unluckier can I get today. Why you are so demotivated, man? You will everything will be fine. सबका नंबर आएगा. अपना टाइम आएगा. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, guys. Let's see who's the winner now. So I'm just sharing my screen. So this is the sheet, guys. People have participated. So let's see who is the winner. So total somewhere around 56 people have participated. Let me choose a random one. So I just don't choose it like this. I use website to choose the person. So this website I use to choose the random winner. So 56 people are there. So guys, here's a biggest example. This the whole beautiful view that you are observing is a front end thing. But the digits that I'm entering over here and I'll be running this particular program, that requires a backend thing, right? So in this particular settings, you can see they will choose one out of 56, and that is the game of backend. The coding is involved in the backend. But the views, the stars, the buttons, the cross sections, everything that you're observing is a front end thing. So if you learn both front end and back end, you will become a full stack developer, that is a software developer or a software engineer. As simple as that. All right, so let me announce the winner now. The winner 57. I can see now the people The last one is 57. Okay. I'm going to announce the winner now. Update the sheet. Okay. Let's see. Oh my god. The one who is on the top. One. Seal number one is the winner. Who is this guy? And coming on the top, the one is, see, this is the column name email. So I took this as a one. Nick. Nick is the winner of this particular webinar. And Nick, congratulations. You are the winner of this particular webinar, and I'm very very excited that you are a winner for this particular contest. And congratulations to you, Nick, you won this particular contest, and you are the winner for our full stack course. And thank you so much. If you are here, you can just give us a hi. And yes, so the winner we have is Nick, and our counselor will be reaching out to you to give you admission call. And yes, so I can understand one thing, that Nick is not available over here. Okay, no worries. So he will be getting a call and he will be getting enrolled into the job guarantee patch. But for all the people who haven't won yet, so they will be getting a special offer to join this particular job guarantee batch, which is going to start just in after two few days. You all will be getting a call, and you can use this Black Friday benefit to get the maximum discount and join the job guarantee batch. I hope everybody has liked this particular session. I hope everybody have got their doubts clear. So thank you so much, guys, for joining over here. And I hope everybody has a valuable time. So let's go and see you again. If you have some more questions, you can connect me with on LinkedIn and get it done. So see you again in the next webinar, and all the best for your future, guys.